The time has come. The moment of truth is here. The question is, are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you have the strength? Everybody wants to win, but they don't understand what it means to sacrifice to win it all. Everybody wants to be a champion, but are you prepared to work hard enough to become the champion that you believe you can be? Do you think you have the mindset now? Do you understand what it means to get into what they call beast mode? But I'm here to let you know right now, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't about being beast mode. It's about life and death mode. It's about putting it on the line. It's about pushing yourself and giving it 110% of everything you got. There is nothing that you can do once you're here except finish what you start. When the weakness starts to talk to you and whisper sweet nothings in your ear, you got to recognize that that conversation doesn't help you. That conversation that you're having with weakness is not going to build you. It's not going to push you. It's not going to lift you. You got to recognize that there's work that must be done. You got to be responsible. You got to be capable. You got to be willing to work for what you want. I know sometimes people like to talk the talk. I know some people like to pretend to be something they're not. I know sometimes people say they're a lion, but you can't be a lion if you don't understand the rules of the jungle. So ladies and gentlemen, you got to recognize what it means to sacrifice, what it means to be powerful, what it means to be strong. This is your moment to shine. And if you're not willing to shine, then step aside. If you're not willing to work, then this is not the place for you. You got to toughen up. You got to look up. You got to build up. If you want it, this is the time to go get it. But you got to work for it. You got to believe in it. You got to trust in it. You got to let the power flow through the veins. The blood is real. The blood will push you. The pump that you're getting in this place right now is going to take you up and over the top. But if you're not hungry, if you're not willing to get it, then you're going to starve. You're going to starve because you're not hungry. You're going to starve because you're not willing. You're going to starve because you don't want it. Only the hungry knows how to eat. Only the hungry knows how to fight. You don't have time to step back. You got to go forward. You got to push harder. You got to dig a little bit deeper. Some people, all they do is talk. When you're in this place of business, there is no talking. The only conversation is moving what's in front of you. The only conversation is pushing when you feel you can't push. The only conversation is you against you. The rest doesn't matter. The excuses doesn't matter. The weakness doesn't count. Excuses, get out of my way. That's what this is about. So you got to recognize when it gets tough, you better get tough. Easy does not count. Easy does not work. You can't cheat your way up. You got to push your way up. Not everyone is ready to be at the top. Not everyone is suitable to be at the top. If you're having a mental breakdown, then the body will believe everything that the mind is telling it to do. You got to understand, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And if the mind ain't right, then the body won't be right. You have to understand that you have to have a connection. The connection of righteousness. The connection of fighting. The connection of faithfulness. And you and your abilities and your strength and your honor and your integrity. Everything that you do on this moment counts in this place. You can't wait for someone else to push you through it. You got to push yourself. You are born, and you are born to live and fight. So on this day and for the rest of your life, if you're working, work a little bit harder. You can't do easy. There is no easy in success. There is no easy in pushing that weight. There is no easy in running that extra mile. If it's easy, why are you doing it? If it's easy, how are you growing? If it's easy, how are you gonna be your best? Suffer now and get the rewards later. Don't ask for it, take it. It's yours. Go get it. If you believe in the possibilities, then make it work for you. Now you got to also understand this. It ain't gonna be easy. It's not gonna be a walk in the park. There's always more to give. You got to be willing to sacrifice. You got to be willing to hurt. You got to be willing to yell out. Whatever it takes, keep pushing forward. Don't you give up on your life. Don't you give up on those reps. Don't you give up on giving it what it takes to get the most of yourself. Some of you right now may be wondering, why is this guy yelling? I'm not yelling, I'm making noise. I'm making noise to scare away your excuses. I'm sounding off because maybe that weakness doesn't understand the power that you possess. I know for myself, if I got to shout it out, I'm gonna shout it out. I'm not gonna let things hold me down. I'm not gonna let people tell me I don't count. I'm not gonna let this place of business tell me I have no business. Yes, the voice, the power, the passion, the love, everything that I have inside, I give it to you. I give it to the listener. I give it to the weightlifter. I give it to the marathon runner. I give it to the swimmer. I give it to the Zumba dancer. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. When the time comes, you must recognize that you got to be better. You got to be tougher. You got to be stronger, because nothing that did not create you cannot break you. Be the best of yourself. Be the strongest of the strongest. Don't let anything or anyone hold you back, because you have it. It's all in you. Possess it. Love it. Live it. Give it all you got. And from the bottom of my heart, be productive. Stay strong in it. No excuses. And conduct your business.
Set a time to train at that time. Set a time to go sleep at that time. Set a time to get up at that time. Don't tell yourself you need to do something and then don't do it. That's what I was talking about with Ariel. I knew in my head I was saying, get up at this time. I didn't get up at that time. Train at this time. I didn't train at that time. Don't eat this. I ate that. Don't drink that. I drank it. And these all just infiltrating our mental strength.
Just little kind of defeats.
Exactly, little defeats instead of wins, and it just culminates into, I just don't want to be here. So I'm just feeling myself out like I've never felt myself out before.
This is madness. It's madness if I stay poor. It's madness if I stay depressed. It's madness if I stay broke. It's madness if I don't get fit. It's madness if I don't put in the work. It's madness if I don't believe. It's madness if I don't get my family a part of the hood. That's madness. Madness is not working for it. Madness is sitting in your bed, giving up on your dream. That is madness. But the real freedom is in putting in the work. This is madness.
So if they think that you are mad, let them talk. Let them wonder. Because the madness sets you apart from everyone else.
And so let me look crazy for a season, and I'll live the rest of my life like a legend. If it breaks me, it's making me into something I could have never been. You can hate all you want to, but I understood the work that was required to put in. Because I'm working at this thing so hard and I look mad and crazy. That's when people start questioning your mental state.
This is madness. The naysayers, let them talk, because they too lazy to do the work.
I am committed, and I don't care if this thing takes everything I have. I'm going after it.
You will believe even when others don't. Bring the madness.
We're gonna make it! We're gonna make it, my friend! We're gonna make it! We're gonna make it through!
Remember, it was never designed to break you. It was designed to make you.
Call me mad now. Call me legend later.
Don't you dare look down on yourself. Well, everybody's gonna think I'm this, everybody's gonna think I'm that. Let them think. Let them wonder. But they'll never be able to stand with you. They'll never be able to stand next to you. Don't be ashamed to be different. Don't be ashamed to walk a path no one has ever walked before.
If you're going to choose this path, it will require suffering. It's not going to be easy every day.
All that matters right now is what you believe within yourself.
I don't care what anybody says. I visualize myself driving what I've been called to drive, living where I've been called to live, getting my family up out of the hood. I visualize myself. My family won't have to struggle. If I'm gonna eat, everybody gonna eat. If I'm gonna win, everybody gonna win.
This is the time for you to realize who you are inside. That blood that flows through your veins, that's who you are. There's no weakness there. There's nothing that's holding you back but yourself. But the madness, you got to stay with it.
And sometimes I've got to amputate some people out of my life because they don't understand. Because they don't understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it. And it's draining me to keep explaining to them why I'm doing what I'm doing. Some people are never going to get it until you lift the trophy in the air. Some people are never going to get it until you lift the diploma in the air. Some people are never going to get it until you win. Then they're going to ask you, how did you do it? I did it when you thought I was crazy. I did it when you thought I should have quit. I did it when you thought I should have got more sleep. When you thought I should have went on vacation. I was willing to look crazy. I was willing to look foolish. I was willing to look like I wasn't going down the right path.
So if someone thinks that you're a little out of control, no, they're out of control. You in control because they can't control you. No one has that power over you unless you give it to them. Stop buying into the nonsense that's out there today. Start trusting in yourself today. Because this is not the time to look down. This is the time to get up. This is time to show up.
Who you are right now has gotten you as far as you're going to get. And so whatever it is that you're going after, you're going to become another person to get there. It's the people that are willing to look foolish in front of everybody to accomplish that one day. It's the crazies that make history. If you're going to accomplish something great, sacrifice will be required. There will be a measure of suffering. You're going to look foolish. You're going to look like the guy who's lost his mind. Then there are going to be seasons and chapters and moments in your life where nobody is going to understand why you're not sleeping like everybody else. I've done has gotten me where I am. And if I'm going to accomplish more, and if I'm going to do more, and see more, and become more, I must give my all to this. But there are some goals in life that if I'm going to hit, if I'm going to have an aim, and I'm going to punch through, that I've got to be willing to look crazy. I've got to be willing to look foolish.
You can't be what you think you are if you're not willing to go through the storm. You can't be strong if you never tasted weakness. There will be men